Hello, this is JB. I live in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, I want to tell you about a time when I spoke Spanish in Ukraine. So, I visited Ukraine in 2011. I was there for 19 days, I think. I stayed with my friends. In order to get there, I had to fly from Chicago to Kiev, 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 some people say. But I arrived there, and in the airport they had a bus station. So I went to the bus station and I ordered a ticket somehow. I think it was that my friend who lives in Ukraine told me uh, what to say, and I wrote it down on a sheet of paper and just handed it to the person and bought a bus ticket. Well, I got on the bus and I went towards the city where my friend lived, and the bus ride was fine. It was a nice bus, like very nice bus, just like any chartered bus that you would ride in the United States. But I think it was like a 6 or 7 hour ride from Kiev to the city I was going to. It's called Dnipropetrovsk, Dnipros. I don't know, but I can't. I still struggle saying it, and I spent a lot of time in that city. But I left. I think at like maybe 6 o'clock at night, 5 o'clock. I was supposed to get there around midnight, and but like part of the way through the trip, I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I wanted to figure out where I was so I could make sure and get off at the right place and not end up in some other part of Ukraine or some other part of Europe. And I asked the people around me, "What city are we in? Where are we at? Are we to Dnipropetrovsk yet?" And people just looked at me like I was speaking a foreign language, because I was. The people in Ukraine, they either speak Ukrainian or they speak Russian. Some people maybe speak German, Polish, or other languages, but most people either speak Ukrainian or Russian. So everybody just looked at me funny, and the more I asked them in English, the more they just looked at me, and the more frustrated I got. And I went and tried to talk to the bus driver because, I just figured maybe the bus driver would know, because the bus driver knows everything, right? He knows how to get where we're going. He knows everything. But he didn't speak English either, so he wasn't much help. And then out of desperation, I started speaking in Spanish. I said, "Hello, does anyone here speak Spanish?" And I didn't hear anything. And I said it again, and then a guy, he started speaking to me in Spanish. His Spanish was different than Spanish I know, because he was speaking it with a Ukrainian accent, and he learned how to speak Spanish in Spain because he had been living in Spain and working there, and he had just come back to Ukraine for a visit to his family and to his friends and all that. But we started speaking in Spanish, and I explained to him the situation, and I told him what my problem was, what I needed to know. I needed to know what city I'm in. I need to make sure that I get off at the right city. And he used his cell phone to call my friend and tell her where we were at when we got close to her city, and make sure that she was coming to pick me up, or someone was coming to pick me up, or I would have some way of getting home, or getting to where I was going, where I was going to stay, because um, it was very cold. I don't know how cold it was. Maybe, let's say, like 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Could have been a little warmer, a little colder. I don't remember, but it was cold, plenty cold. And he didn't want me to be outside freezing. And so he talked to her on the phone, and then I talked to her, and she speaks English. She also speaks Ukrainian and Russian and some other languages, but she speaks English, and so she understood. And then we came to the city, and when I got off the bus, she was there. She came and she hugged me, and it was so good to see her. But it might have been a lot harder to get where I was going had it not been for the fact that that guy just happened to speak Spanish, and he just happened to have been living in Spain. And the fact that I had the presence of mind to start speaking Spanish, because I didn't know I didn't know any other language. I don't know any other languages, so that was my only other option. And I would have had a big problem if no one spoke Spanish or English, because I had no idea where I was at. But that's a story about how it benefited me to be able to speak Spanish, even though I was in a country where Spanish is not widely spoken. So thanks for listening.